Virgo. Virgo. My darlings. Hold on 1 second. I'm not going to start yet. I'm going to wait for those of you to come in. I'm going to continue to set myself up. Hopefully my volume is voluminous. Yes. Okay. Da-da-da. First of all, let me apologize for earlier. I have so many Bluetooth devices. I was screwing up. And you guys were telling me, but I was so deep into the channeling mode that I was just going through the cards, right? But hopefully we have audio this time and you can hear me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole new reading, okay? And I'm going to do a different spread. It's going to be a different format. I'm just going to change it up, okay? Because that's what I was intuitively led to do, or divinely led to do. So what I'm going to start with actually is pulling some cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to give us an idea of what kind of energy and what is the attitude kind of this reading. What's the focus, you know? It can really give us some accurate information. So let's do that. I just wanted to burn a little bit of sage. Maybe I'll get into the Palo Santo as well. So that reading from earlier was actually, I believe it was meant for me, you know, and just from a lot of the things that I was saying in the reading, I wasn't talking about myself, but when I was going back over what I had said, because I needed to sort of inform you guys over what you had missed, because it was an hour-long reading, my goodness. And then, you know, it was very Mercury shadow phase, retrograde stuff, like that energy and that message was only really heard by one person, and it was me. Spirit really know how to do it, right? Okay, so this is your reading, Virgo, for June 2019. Redo. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to pull a few cards from this. I was thinking 3 because that's, you know, my number. I'll do 3 stacks and we'll pull from the top of that stack. Okay, and then we're gonna lay out the Rider-Waite cards, but which I'm going to shuffle for you, Virgo, as I'm reading these 3 here that I'm pulling for you. Okay. So the first one is Mercury in Aquarius, Virgo, which is your ruling planet. And Mercury is actually exalted in Aquarius. Work. Can you hear me, Ashley? Libra Sun, Virgo rising. You know, my sister's a Virgo Sun, Virgo rising, and she's a Capricorn moon, but she's a cusping Libra. She's a cusping Virgo Libra. Her birthday's on the 21st, so she's on the edge of the cusp. She feels like she's a Virgo and a Libra sometimes. So Mercury is communication. It's also expression through verbalization, right? You know this. It's also looking at like the details of things or seeing the details within something that is special, right? And it's a special detail that allows you to tap into this originality. Originality is also innovation. That was a card that actually popped up out of the reading or out of the deck when I was getting ready to clear it out for your reading again, and I was asking it if I should do another reading completely different. Don't even refer to that one. And I got innovation, and it was Jupiter in Aquarius. So that was telling me that I needed to change it up and do something different. And here we are doing something different, and you have a card that totally correlates with that one. because it is Aquarius. Aquarius is talking about special concepts, ways of doing things that are different than the norm, that are different than the status quo that maybe your, say, fixed sign, earth sign, Taurus would probably be into. This is a very kind of special energy of tapping into one's own inspiration, right? Expressing one's own inspiration and not really asking people what they have been inspired by in the past. This is kind of like you bringing new ideas, okay? New ways of processing things, like using your hands, probably the way that you do what you do, right? You may do it the way differently than anyone else has done it before, and that's probably why, it is special, and that's why it's working, right? Because no one's done it before, and it's not going against any principles. It's not deterring you from your work, and it's not holding you back. So it actually is doing something really good. Continue to be active within its environment, okay? And the environment that you like to place yourself in is one of, unconventional ways of doing things, changing the concepts, maybe throwing away things that don't work and keeping things that do work. And the things that do work, how can you make them better, right? Because Aquarius always wants to make things better, and so does Virgo, for sure. And Mercury rules Virgo, and that's why it's exalted in Aquarius, because Aquarius is a fixed sign, so it can get stuck in its ways of doing things because it knows what works. And that's kind of like a fixed sign thing, you know what I mean? So you might be also, you're thinking like a Mercury ruled sign, but you're doing things probably, and it's carrying itself out like that of an Aquarius. So you're thinking about how you can reach the masses. You're thinking about how you can reach more people. Hi, can you guys hear me? Yeah? You're thinking about how you can reach more people, right? And doing something that is going to get people's attention, because Mercury is about attention, right? It is about sparking your awareness for something. Beautiful. Thank you. It is about sparking your awareness for something, right? Aquarius is also talking about confidence, right? The belief in yourself that you can do something, right? Especially if it's something that no one else can do, you definitely should feel confident in that, right? The specialized thing. Okay, you are your individual person. You do have your own genetic code, right? There isn't anyone like you. Okay, and this is the 11th house, and this is something that's very angelic, right? Of course, your gifts were bestowed upon you. It's provident. Okay, because you are who you are. You have your gifts. Also, you have to think of new ways to do things. If you stay with the old way of doing things, then you'll never progress. That's also what this is saying as well, Virgo. Because sometimes you can get stuck doing things that work because you've practiced that. This is saying step out of that which you have practiced, okay? Or that which you have, continued to... Greetings. Yes, Mary Jane. It's kind of saying, to these Virgos out here and people who have personal planets in their 6th house based on what your rising is, okay? Also, if you have Mercury in Aquarius, that's a very wonderful place to have it. I'm sure many people have that there. But this is saying step out of the old ways that you have done things, even if you know that they do work. It's kind of like, how can you make the improvements, Virgo? Because that's what you want to do. You want to make improvements. So does Aquarius. Mercury definitely doesn't want to sit in one place. So the best thing for it to do is to make improvements and be progressive as it's moving around, and not just doing things aimlessly, right? Because this could be you aimless. This could be you pursuing something and reaching success, but you could even be doing it in a slower way. You know what I mean? You got to change up the way that you see yourself reaching to get something or to... Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. We're going to keep... So, originality, changing up the concepts, doing things different, allowing yourself to feel confident in doing it differently, right? Because you're going to be doing yourself a service, and you're going to be doing a service to other people, because people are going to be exposed, opened up to the ideas that weren't privy to before, right? And it's going to be you, the person doing this, because Aquarius definitely has an authoritative sense of doing things, right? Because it really is the one that says, yes, it's okay to think differently. Yes, it's okay to be you. Yes, it's okay to challenge the norm. Yes, it's okay, right? If Aquarius doesn't say it, no one else is going to tell you. to do that. Leo might. You know what I mean? But then it's the fifth house. So, it's kind of like doing, right? This is not doing the basics to get recognition. This is going beyond the basics. Okay? Don't be basic, right? That's probably going to be your. So now let's look at the other card. Thank you, Spirit, so much. Ooh, you got Venus and Libra, which is talking about inability to make a decision about something. Or maybe you're just trying to be too fair and now you're not getting what you want, right? Because this is the opposite of, that Aries energy, right? Because this is Venus in her sign that she rules, right? So she can get what she wants. She just has to exercise, and assert herself in a way that's not just for the greater good, for the other, right? She has to think about what she wants and why she knows what she wants, okay? Or you, or he, or them, or they, anybody, okay? Because Venus is the planet of harmony, right? I don't want to step on anybody that's done smoothly, then I'd rather that. This is saying that, not wanting to break the mold and not wanting to, open the window to let the fresh air in is going to make you always stay suffocated in your mind in terms of making this decision. So open the window, let the fresh air in so that your mind can then breathe freely and then see the different perspective that might be on the other side. You know what I mean? You don't have to just stay stagnant. You know what I mean? You're just not moving right now. If you don't allow yourself to do this thing that you know is going to be fierce. Okay? Because you got Aquarius right here. You got Libra right here. Those are both you. You got Mercury right here getting shit done. You got Venus right here making it gorgeous. You know what I mean? And time is of the essence too. Time is flighting. Time flies, right? When you're indecisive. So, okay. All right. So we're back. Okay. I had to make that adjustment. Okay. Sacrifices. So anyway, here we go. Indecision, right? If you wait too long, then time is going to, take this opportunity away. Not necessarily take it away, it can possibly come back, but time is definitely going to show you that it was serious about what it meant when it was time to decide, when it was time. And I'll come back around at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to right now, because you just had that opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like that type of thing. Don't wait too long. Don't be complacent in your head because you don't want to affect other people's view of you or how they see you. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in peril over something that you're doing for you. Virgo. Okay, here we go. The next card is Saturn in Leo. Generosity. Okay, generosity. So, Saturn is a planet that wants what it wants, right? It rules Capricorn, and Capricorn is determined. Saturn is determined, right? Saturn is determined to show you something about, how selfish you might be being about something. You know what I mean? You could be being selfish about some boundaries, or you could be being selfish about, selfish with friends, or there might be some kind of like control element to friends or people around you. Maybe someone is controlling their generosity, or maybe someone is withholding their generosity, or maybe someone isn't being as generous as they possibly could be, or maybe you aren't being as generous as you possibly could be. Because now I'm going to go back to that reading that we had earlier, right, that I scrapped up and took as my own. But there was something there about saying no to some question about whether or not someone could borrow something or share something with you or contribute in a collaborative way to something, right? that was going to produce something. Okay, it could have been a trip, it could have been money for gas, it could have been a car, it could have been money to rent the car, it could have been a Venmo, it could have been anything, right? And there was a reject. It's Five of Wands energy. I hope you get what it is that you need and what you want. Mercury retrograde, I need you to stop acting crazy now. Okay, because see, the funny thing is that I was having no glitches in the reading earlier today. The only glitch that I had was the volume not being there and you guys not being able to hear me. But for the most part, there was no disconnections or anything happening with the video. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to put these away and then I'm going to take out the Rider Waite. A card fell out while I was shuffling. It's the Eight of Cups. So this is Saturn and Pisces, talking about you having to leave a situation or let go of something that you might have attached yourself to over time, right? Fundamentally, because you were just there and it was there and everything was available, right? You might have to say no to something, right? You might have to say no and sacrifice something so that you can transform or transition into a new phase. The eights definitely have to do with power, and it has to do with the mind as well, because Mercury is involved with this, because I believe it's in position 8 on the Tree of Life. I'm not really sure about that, but I do know that all the eights have a connection to Mercury, okay? You might have a fear, right, of letting go of something. Okay, because this is Pisces, right? So it's talking about you giving yourself to something that probably doesn't deserve you or no longer deserves your time, effort, or energy being there. You know, so maybe the silence. Okay, I was giving you facial expressions, shimmying, looking off into space. Do you guys like the neon flower that I got? She cute, right? Okay, one more. We're gonna do one more, Spirit, and then we're gonna split this deck and we're gonna lay these cards out and we're gonna get to talking. Okay? I'm trying to have Virgo up in here getting redo after redo now. Please, Spirit, I got you. Let me get this reading done. Okay, now we're going to base. She cute, right? You know. Thank you. So this is a Four of Cups. This is talking about emotional complacency, looking at a situation and not feeling satisfied with it, right? Looking at a situation and not being satisfied by it, but when you're focusing on what's not working, then you're kind of blocking off what might work for you. Actually, you might be blocking off a blessing, some of you, right? Because you've got your intentions on something that's not giving you your satisfaction. It's not giving you that emotional security on the duplication and the multiplication, right? You're of that thing of what has not worked for you, right? You're kind of standoffish too with something, I'm getting, right? You know, you need to look around you and see where the things that are actually glowing, right, that are actually meant for you to come towards them, right, and grab them are, right? You know, because you're isolating yourself from what it is that's meant to come to you, Virgo. For whatever reason, you could be dealing with a water sign male, right? You could be dealing with a water sign female too, because this is Aries energy, right? With this 4, right, related to the emperor assertion, wanting something, needing to feel like you are getting what you deserve, okay, or getting what you intended, or feeling everything that you want with this 4, of cups here, okay? This ship as well. Some of you are really thinking about, like, some of you are unhappy with like the food choices that you've been making and the things that you've been eating, right? It's kind of like your impulse to eat the wrong things, right? Because This could also be you wanting to express how you feel about something, but incapable of doing because you feel like there's an element missing, right? So this could be you wanting to express some part of yourself, right? Um, you have the ability of doing so because something is missing. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip over this center card. You got the Hangman, so that's Pisces energy. It's Neptune in Pisces, and you know Neptune was kind of squaring the Sagittarius full moon, which was conjunct, or you know, also in the same house as Jupiter and Sag. So Jupiter and Moon and Sag squaring the Neptune in Pisces. Pisces is its choices, it's opposition, right? It's how you choose to engage, right? It's how you are engaged, it's how you are have the impetus to do something, and then it's how other people respond to what you have done. And it's also how you respond to what other people have done, right? Or things that have happened around you. Because the Hangman is talking about an environment, right? Because the 3 is talking about of what's going on around you or something like that. It's like things coming together around you and you being very like receptive to that, you being a sponge to that. You also you're very intuitive right now because you have the moon in Cancer, okay? And then you have Neptune, the Hangman. What? Sorry, you guys. I'm trying. There's nothing I can do. You're giving yourself the moment, you're giving yourself the time, you're understanding. Okay, right. So what I'm gonna say is that it's kind of like going to like an antique shop, and everyone else is shopping around you, right? And you know that there are things there that you want, but you're gonna let everybody have what their pick because there's so much stuff that you know you're going to find a jewel once they've all sort of like run amok, right? So that's kind of like allowing things to happen around you and letting things come to you in time. You know, you're changing focus, right? The Ace of Swords, right? Crossing you. I'm gonna burn Palo Santo because this is ridiculous. Right? Change of focus. This is truth, right? Waiting for the truth to be revealed to you. Hi. Hangman is talking about having things be revealed to you, okay, at the right moment. Okay, so there's some truth that is going to be revealed to you, truth being revealed to you over time in the right moment. You're going to know just what to do once you receive this information. You're going to know where to go and what lines to draw. Okay, so let me look at your sun placement. You got the world here. So this is also a card that you got earlier in the last reading, or that I got. We got. I'll say we, because, you know, I have a lot of Virgo placements. Now it's slowing down. I'm going to be patient. So you have another card that's talking about duplication, multiplicity, right? The completion of something. You got the world. Fours are completion, right? Because that's a 4. We now have reached something that's more stable. The world is definitely completion. And 3 of Swords, okay? That's Saturn in Libra. So this is talking about understanding that a situation is what it is and it's probably not going to change, okay? Because Saturn is definitely is teaching Libra that it needs to understand, oh hi Nicole, that it needs to understand in its mind is the truth. You know, there are lessons to be learned from this truth, and there are ways to respond or react to this truth, right? That might be old, but it's showing itself to you in a new way, in a more profane way, right? That you deny. Right, and this is your body that you can't deny, a truth about your body that you can't deny, or this could be a truth about a relationship and how it might be affecting you emotionally that you cannot deny. And there is a lot of wisdom to gain from this experience of the Three of Swords, even though it's painful, right? It's gut wrenching, right? It definitely I feel like also because it's a three, that it kind of has like this reckless feeling of something being exposed or released, right? Because the threes are open, right? It's what something exists within. Things exist within the threes, right? Um, and I feel like this is something that was existing, that was still in the relationship over time, right? This relationship that you guys may have had, maybe with another Libra. It was something over time because it's Saturn and that was Capricorn, and this is in the moon position, and moon is in Cancer, is right here, and that energy squares itself. You know, this moon in Cancer definitely squares this Saturn and Libra card here in this reading. Okay, and there's some harsh lessons to be learned, but definitely out for the betterment of you. Okay, regardless of what somebody else might take out of an experience that they had with you, it's what you get out of the experience, right? And what you learn from it, and what you take and you can to your life, so that you can become a new version of yourself. Which is why the World card is in the Sun position right now. See what I mean? Thank you guys for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. All right, so that's that. We're moving right along. In the past, you had a wish, right? You had a wish for something. The Nine of Cups is here, or satisfaction. You know, it is a desire to have something that you feel like you deserve, and something that is going to be, you know, essential. Because I feel like the nines are very essential, right? It's kind of like reduction of something, right? The reduction of your feelings. You really boiled it down in the past to something that you had a desire for, right? And you definitely were you definitely were intuitively inspired. I don't know why I'm saying intuitively, but you know, you were using your magic of manifestation, right? It's like goal oriented wishful thinking. It's not like I want, you know, $1 million. It's like I would like for this to happen, and it is something that is you were putting these long-term goals on the shelf in the past, and now I feel like with this retrograde you're going to be revisiting some of those things. Okay, so now let's continue moving, because I really want to get this done so that all of these glitches and things can stop. I love you, Virgo, always. Page of Swords in the anxiety. So this is talking about, you know, you having to express something through communication and wanting to announce something or say something, or start a conversation about a process, right? But you have anxieties of that, or the belief that it will be met with, you know, graciousness, right? Um, but just waiting for the camera. Okay, there we go. You have anxieties in speaking up for yourself sometimes, and you need to work on that. Okay, in the Mars position, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo. And this is talking about the appreciation for what you have provided yourself, what you've been able to build, what you've been able to sustain, the goals that you've been able to reach, right? You have Jupiter in Pisces here, and then you have Venus in Virgo, okay? And these two cards are very complementary of each other because they're both from the Nine suit, which is related to the Hermit, which is talking about going inward, right? Having an inspired epiphany, right? Seeking the answers for yourself, right? Knowing what you want for you and not for anyone else, right? It's a very pure sense of self motivation. Okay, so this is, you definitely are dealing with some self motivation here, and these are good cards in terms of, ooh, honey. I should have known that a Mercury ruled sign, y'all always have some glitches. Okay, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. You know, it's always having these issues sometimes. Okay, so here I go. But yeah, you definitely are fulfilling these things for yourself that are showing you, you know, how to appreciate life a little bit more, right? Or, you know, you're having this new appreciation for yourself, okay? And the nines are saying that you are achieving these goals that you have had, and you're revisiting some goals and making good on those, okay? Another card that came up in the reading that I had passed, you know, that we had earlier, the Knight of Cups came up, and this is a mutable card, right? It's Pisces, and this is talking about situationally something coming in and slowly changing the way that you feel about a process, okay? Or slowly changing the way that you feel about what you thought you wanted or what you thought you needed. Because the Knight of Cups is talking about compassion and sacrificing something. You know, you might be softening, someone might be softening themselves for you, or you might be softening yourself for someone, because this is a gentle night. This night isn't as intimidating. It is, but then it shows you have to, it gives you a reason to fall back on your defensiveness. It gives you a reason and teaches you and shows you a thing or two about what it is to be beautifully kind and show compassion, even if you are the dominant energy in a relationship, because this is in the Venus placement. So you need to know how to adapt to what is needed and what is being asked of you when you engage, because the Knights are very engaging, okay? They are. Um, you know, the pages engaged, they come in and they tap you on the shoulder. The Knights are getting your attention. The Queen, you're coming to her. The King has sent for you. Okay? But this night, you definitely know of its presence, and you are very responsive to these feelings that you might be having for this water sign. Maybe it's a Pisces. Because the Knights, they're all fire mixed with their element, okay? So this is very alchemical. This is a very spiritually alchemical card to me, right? It's a very alchemical card, period. But, you know, the Knight of Cups is kind of alchemical, right? Because it's, you know, the Knights are all fire and their elements. So he's fire and water. So you wouldn't think that would go well together, but it's how you do it. It's the water definitely needs to go somewhere. Another card that came up in the reading earlier, the Seven of Cups. This is talking about, you know, How are you relating to an experience that might be challenging you in terms of making a decision or allowing others to make decisions for you that lead to you being dissatisfied, right? That lead to you really actually desiring more because you left it up to other people to kind of like decipher what it is that you needed, because it's Venus and Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And Mars is a dominant energy. It's a ruling energy. It's yang energy. It's assertive. And Venus is also that too, but it's softer. Venus is allowing things to happen within its environment, right? And it responds or reacts to those things. So you could be reacting to something in the future, right, moving forward, that is going to lead you to have to make a decision for yourself and take all of the other people out of this scenario, right? All of the influences of others, right? Stop weighing out what other people think. You're going to be asking a lot of questions moving forward, and you might be confused about the answers, right? Or you might be a lot of questions moving forward in the future. There definitely will be more opportunities for you to involve yourself in creative ventures, right? Creative endeavors. The Page of Wands is here in the future for you. So this is you getting excited about a new project that you're going to be involving yourself in, right? You're going to be very optimistic about this. You're kind of wearing a hat of wisdom in terms of like knowing that you can achieve something if you are excited and you have charisma, right? And you are talented. There's something, you know that you're worth something, right? So nobody can tell you that you're not on your way to something. Okay, for sure, with this Page of Wands, right? So you might be confused, but within all this confusion there is some wisdom in there, right? And that confusion also, here you got a page, and then at the top of the reading, what you're going into, the energy you're moving into, is the King of Cups. So this is Scorpio. This is you transforming into a more mature energy that is going to allow your new perspective to help you manage your emotional process, and also be able to deal with how the emotions of others are affected by you, right? And being able to respond to that in a positive way, right? And not in a negative way, okay? Because the King of Cups definitely knows how to deal with this Venus and Scorpio energy here, right? It's definitely on a lower polarity, and it's at the very bottom in the corner. He's looking down towards that. He's looking through the formation of the pain from the Three of Swords to the Page of Wands, right? The possibilities, the capabilities, right? The talent, the skill set, right? And that is going to lead him to be able to make the right choices, or at least have options so that he can make a choice. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to let someone else make the choice for you, because then you'll be able to blame them for your for whatever may come or whatever may transpire. This is saying that you do have what it takes. You do have the wisdom. You do have to believe in yourself also, right? Because you may not believe in yourself. That's why you don't know what to do about a certain situation, okay? Or about, because it's like you want the outcome, right? You want the victory, but you don't know how to get there, okay? You don't know how to get there. It's a 7. It's related to the Chariot. This could even be with a car. This could be with a mobile, right? Or this could be like you being confused. Work is something too, you know what I mean? It's like you know knowing what to do about. Yeah, this is the sound off or is it cutting off? Because at first the sound was off earlier and I checked the sound and they said that I was okay. So is the sound off or is the sound off because I'm cutting off because of the connection being poor? Right? A lot of questions. I'm going to end it here, Virgo. Now, once this reading loads, we're going to check it and see if it's good enough. If it's not, we're going to have to do another one for you, okay? Because I can't have Virgo not having a reading that they can actually legibly hear because you guys are my highest viewers, okay? So let me know. After the reading loads and it goes through, it's back now? Okay. I love you guys. But definitely you're going to be transforming into a more mature energy, a more mature version of yourself, and it's going to help you cope and deal with the emotional struggles that you've been going through right in the confusion. Okay, some things are going to be revealed to you, and there's some truths that you're going to be understanding when these things are revealed to you, and it's going to be very instrumental in you having this transformation into this new emotionally mature self, right? More emotionally complex too. My feelings are. Okay, email me, providencetarot.kendrick@gmail.com. You can also follow me, Providence Tarot, on Instagram. I'm NYC Kendrick, Kendrick NYC, and also the tongue. Reading from me on Mondays at Shanti Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery. It's sorry it was so choppy, Virgo. I'll make it up to you if it's just like, you know, too much for us to withstand. Okay, I love you guys, Virgo. I'm going to be watching this, playing it back and seeing if it does what it needs to do. Okay, I love you guys. Thanks for being so patient with me. Crazy Mercury retrograde shadow.